All right, let's dive into a massive pain point for, well, pretty much any technical team out there: slow incident resolution. We're going to explore why mean time to resolution, MTTR, gets so frustratingly high. And here's a spoiler: the solution isn't about getting more data, it's about finally connecting the data you already have.
So, let me ask you this. What is the real cost when your support teams are constantly jumping between, a dozen different tabs, tools, and dashboards just to get their heads around a single issue? It's not just about wasted minutes, is it? It's about lost momentum, mounting customer frustration, and those critical details that just fall right through the cracks. It's like this hidden tax on your team's efficiency, and it adds up fast.
This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the problem. Your teams are practically drowning in data. I'm talking logs, tickets, Slack messages, metrics, the whole shebang, but it's all in different silos. So the challenge isn't a lack of information, it's the lack of a coherent story, that single thread that ties everything together into what we call connected context. So let's break down what this problem actually looks like day to day. We call it the context switching bottleneck. And honestly, it's a cycle of inefficiency that probably looks painfully familiar to a lot of you. Just imagine you're an agent for a second. A critical ticket lands in your queue. What's the first move? Well, you start digging, right? You're sifting through old cases, hoping to find a similar issue. Then you hop over to Slack to see if anyone's talked about this before. And when that hits a dead end, you have to go interrupt a busy engineering team, basically asking them to stop everything to help you hunt down the problem. Every single step is a jump to another system and another potential dead end.
And here's the crucial point: that constant manual searching is the bottleneck. It is the single biggest thing inflating your MTTR. It's not that your team isn't skilled. Of course they are. It's that they're being forced to play detective on every single case, piecing together clues from a dozen different crime scenes. And that's exactly where velocity just grinds to a halt.
But what if we could just eliminate all that detective work? This brings us to the solution. Let's talk about something called the context fabric, which is designed to do one thing: solve this bottleneck problem head-on.
So, what is a context fabric? Well, think of it as a system that does all that detective work for you automatically. You can almost see it as a memory layer for your entire operations. It pulls together all the relevant history, data, and conversations into one single place before an agent even lays eyes on the ticket. This gives you what we call safe velocity, because every decision is based on a complete and, most importantly, accurate picture. So how does it actually work under the hood? It's not just some simple data dump. The fabric operates in these intelligent layers, moving from a baseline of context all the way to actually executing resolutions. Let's see how that builds up.
It all starts right here, with baseline context. The second a ticket is created, the fabric instantly enriches it with the essentials. Things like, what's this customer's history? Who worked on similar escalations in the past? Were there any recent product changes or deployments that could be related? And maybe most importantly, how have we resolved this exact issue before? All of that is surfaced instantly, no digging required. Okay, the next layer up is assist mode. This is where the system gets active instead of passive. Using all that rich baseline context, the fabric becomes a co-pilot for your agent. It intelligently suggests probable causes and can even draft technically accurate responses. And this is that memory layer in action. It prevents those weird AI hallucinations because every single suggestion is grounded in your team's actual historical resolution data.
And finally, you have execute mode. This is the most powerful layer, and it's all about a concept we call controlled intelligence. The fabric might suggest triggering a specific remediation workflow or escalating the ticket with all the necessary context already attached. But the key phrase here is with approval. This is not autonomous chaos. A human is always in the loop to give the final okay. This is how you get safe velocity, by combining the speed of automation with the wisdom of human oversight.
So, we've gone through the problem and the mechanics of the solution, but what does this all mean for the bottom line? Let's look at the tangible results and the real-world impact this has on mean time to resolution.
I mean, the picture this chart paints is just crystal clear. On the left, you see that towering bar of traditional MTTR, bloated by all that context switching and manual searching we talked about. And then, on the right, you see the dramatic drop when the context fabric is in place. By delivering that connected context automatically, you remove the bottleneck and resolution times just plummet. And the benefits go way beyond just speed.
You get consistent, high-quality support because even your most junior agent has the context of your most senior expert right at their fingertips. You get fewer escalations, which frees up your engineering team to actually innovate instead of constantly firefighting. And you get a full audit trail for compliance, because every bit of context and every single action taken is logged automatically.
So, we'll end with this question. What if context was no longer something your team had to hunt for? What if it was just there, automatically, the exact moment they needed it? What could your team truly achieve with that kind of newfound speed and intelligence? That's the real shift, from data overload to truly connected context.